Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. We're still chilling. What a great introduction. I'm Billy, I'm number 10. I've come to an executive decision, which is that it's time to increase construction. I think we're going to put our construction in the places where we're going to be using the most of it, which, frankly, are 3 states that we've already got a lot of construction in, also Jutland. We're not going to do this all at once, but we're going to get started with 2, and we're going to see how it goes. These are going to be for right after the expansion of the paper mills. Because, again, the expansion of the paper mills is necessary to keep the government doing well financially. Actually, you know what? They're really fast. Screw it. We're doing it. We're doing it live. I'll take another look into technology. We're currently working on realism. We've got organized sports spreading, so I think I'll queue that up next. We already got labor movement, pharmaceuticals, so pan-nationalism is currently a 6-year technology. So I think once we finish with realism, we'll finish out organized sports, and then we'll be able to really get pan-nationalism going. And I think at that point we'll just kind of power through it until we get there, because that'll let us get Sweden, and that'll be really good for us overall. It'll also... So the reason we can't change... excuse me. The reason we can't change our government type... the reason I'm doing it... Music player, are you good? Let's get going here. Sorry about that. So, the reason we can't change our government type is because the nature of our relationship with Norway is that it's a personal union, which means it's 2 countries ruled by the same king. If we become a republic, that means we're not going to have the same king as Norway, and they're not going to be in personal union with us anymore. And then we won't have control over those 3 states, and then we won't be able to form Scandinavia. So that's what's the core of my desire to keep monarchy for now. But once we've got Norway into Scandinavia, that was funny. Our finances kind of jumped around a little bit. Once we've got Norway into Scandinavia, though, and made it all one country, then we'll be able to change our government as much as we want, and that's going to be just fine. Predictably, the increase in construction has led to a deficit in the government, but that's okay. We still got a reserve of about 5/8 of a million pounds, so I'm not too concerned about that for now. Excellent. The laws progress to voting. The trade unions want restricted child labor. I'm inclined to give it to them. Well, who will oppose this? The industrialists will oppose this. We'll work on it. It's a process. Alright, so this has led to a significant deficit. But that's okay, though. As you can see, our construction is going much faster. In addition, the private sector is getting a lot more construction going. In fact, we're building those coal mines that I was talking about, which is just great. I'm just pleased as punch about that. We've almost got a full construction line, in fact, so... I'm considering the possibility of just building the next construction sector right away, but I think I'm going to leave it for now. Just let this get done. And, because I don't want to completely mess up my financial situation. Number of radicals continues to be going down. But this enact restricted child labor movement is really rough. With that having been said, our number of loyalists is going up. That's because standard of living continues to increase. In fact, our lower stratum is at 10.5 now, and that's pretty good. I'm not too concerned about the middle and upper strata. It's the lower stratum that I'm really worried about in terms of standard of living, because that's most people. Does it say what percentage of... Yeah, 4.92 million pops, so just about 90%. Ooh, we have water tube boilers sprouting to us. And that's wonderful, actually. That's a really good production technology. Because the condensing pump engine will make our mines even more efficient, and that's super duper important. Just really, really excellent. I think of the other production techs, the next one I really would like is mechanized workshops, but it's going to be a long time before we get there just because we're working so hard on our social techs so that we can get the whole Scandinavia thing going. Oh, wonderful. The landowners stopped trying not to pay their taxes. That's just great. I'm very pleased with that. In fact, their opinions are basically getting back to normal. Church of Sweden is also getting back to normal. They're still salty about me leaving off oligarchy, but hopefully that'll get better. Right. Come on, healthcare. Give me some healthcare. Give me healthcare. No. Speech captivates the public. This afternoon, Lars Johan Hierta, leader of the industrialists, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of private health insurance. Making an appearance before the public in Stockholm's main square, Lars Johan Hierta's powerful rhetoric left even his most embittered political opponents impressed. Excerpts from his speech are already being circulated across Sweden, fanning the fires of an already roaring debate. This should ease the path to reform greatly, or performances like this reflect well on Lars Johan Hierta and his cause. I'm going to do this one. That'll make the industrialists more powerful. And that's what I want, because they're in the government. In the mid-game, it's generally not bad for the industrialists to get strong. Our deficit has gone down, but I still don't want to increase my... I still don't want to throw down too many construction sectors right now immediately. But I do... I mean, I'm not going to lie to you and say that I don't want to. I do want to. I don't want to get tempted by this in case this is just kind of temporary. Yeah, it's back up over 1,000. Or deficit. Our trade routes are still going well. What about... Huh. Most of our lead is going into glassworks. Some into munitions plants. I'm going to stop exporting lead to Prussia. Should help out a little bit. Ooh. Transportation. Ah, okay. So transportation is very expensive because our railways aren't producing that much transportation. So let's go ahead and... This will reduce infrastructure and it'll cost them wood, but it'll produce a lot more transportation, and that's important. Just to make sure that we don't have any states we're now short on infrastructure in. It does not look like we are, so that's good. How's our coal situation? Still not ideal. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on... Let me see. Private sector is going to be working on coal mines soon, so I think I'm going to pull the trigger on getting Svealand, our capital state, using coal streetlights. And that's going to be just wondrous profitable in terms of overall service as output. Where is services here? Services here. Interesting. Services are very affordable, so hopefully that will mean standard of living is going up. That's very important. The other reason I'm not rushing too fast into more construction sectors is because I think universities are completely paid for by the government in this game. So the fact that I'm building up more universities will make this stuff more expensive. Excellent. Not to mention the cost of the additional paper. We've had this discussion before. Industrialists, I think they're fine. I don't want more radicals. Need more furniture. Yeah, I can definitely use more furniture. Alright, so we're doing just fine on bureaucracy. I do want to keep the industrialists chill, because this extra contribution to the investment, this extra efficiency at contributing to the investment pool is really, really useful. In fact, we've got a huge amount in our investment pool. I'm doing it. We're pulling the trigger. We're gonna get faster construction. See, hopefully the other thing this will do is this will allow us to get our construction projects done in a timely manner, and then maybe we can leave most of that to the private sector for the time being, and that'll really help out our finances. Our finances are not bad, but they're not great. We have a mining accident. A mine in Gotland has collapsed, trapping miners in the dark shafts below. The scale of the accident has made the tragedy a story across Gotland and the nation. They dug me out, but they left my friend behind. I hope wherever he's gone, it's better than here. A small price to pay for the merchant industry. This radicalizes lower stratum pops, but makes the industrialists happy. This outrageous abuse of the common man cannot continue. Radicalizes upper strata pops, but makes the trade unions stronger. These mines are a blight upon men and countryside alike. Middle strata pops get radical, but the rural folk get stronger. I'm inclined to do this one just for now. I'm sorry, lower stratum pops, but I've got to keep my industrialists powerful. Their support is very important to my government. Oh, we have a reformer in the position of leader of the rural folk now. That's interesting. I sure... I'm really tempted to switch over the industrialists for the rural folk just to get restricted child labor passed. Really quite strongly inclined. Let's do it. Radical. And I think, so this will get us a really healthy helping of loyalists, and that's kind of why I think this is really important. Because the industrialists aren't actually upset right now, I think they'll mostly be fine. And they're currently very happy with me because of the whole privatized healthcare thing. So yeah, I think we're good. Feeling pretty confident now. This will be good. This will be really good. Our finances are really rough now, but iron's still not that expensive. And soon, we'll be able to have all of the coal that we need. In fact, where's coal at? Coal's expensive, but not that expensive, since we're building all these coal mines. If we get more, we can. Oh my goodness, another French Revolution. There are just revolutions going on all the time over there, it seems like. So as you can see now, we've gotten enough construction that we have 2 construction lines working at the same time. So it's not just all on one construction project all at once. It's two different ones. Let's take a look at France. Okay, so the French Republic is down here. Radical France is over here. So the radicals seem to have gotten control of most of France. The French Republic is the landowners, the devout, and the armed forces. And radical France is everyone else. So that's interesting. Let's see if I can tell at a glance what the differences in laws are. It's a franchise thing. They want universal suffrage. Everyone's got an opinion on this. Am I committed? Do I have a defensive pact with France? No, I do not. Well, we could have had a defensive pact, France, but I have to say I'm disinclined to intervene. I think this is something that France can deal with on its own. I'm sure as heck not going to worry about that. That's something that I don't need to worry about at all. I'm Sweden. I'm chill today. I'm just relaxing, industrializing the country. Everything's going to be fine. The radical French are embargoing themselves. Or no, sorry. The radical French are being embargoed by themselves. Very important distinction. Bruno Eckert is exiled from Schaumburg-Lippe. He's a Republican agitator. See if there are any agitators I want. I could get rid of Vernius back, but I don't feel like he's... Excellent. The law progressed to drafting. Hopefully that should be dealt with pretty soon. We will need to chill after that a little bit so that we can get ourselves up to... so that we can get the industrialists back to feeling good once it's time to get... once it's time to get our franchise figured out. Let's bring this government administration up. The reason being that I want that brought up is that I want to have a little bit more. See, the reason restricted child labor matters, in addition to reducing mortality, which it does. So child labor allowed is the default because it's 30% income for dependents and 5% mortality for farmers, laborers, machinists, and peasants. Restricted child labor gives 15% dependence income and no mortality bonus for, that is to say, increase, which is really worse. It's not a bonus. It's only a bonus in that it's higher. No mortality increase for machinists, which this one does, as you can see, and it reduces the mortality increases for farmers, laborers, and peasants to 2%. If you go to compulsory primary school, it removes the bonus for dependence income completely, and it also cuts the mortality completely. More importantly, though, restricted child labor increases the maximum investment in education by 1, compulsory primary school by 2. So both of those are super duper good. And the reason is because having investment in education as a thing increases the overall level of literacy in your country, and literacy acts as a cap on innovation. So that's something that's really, really important to get increasing at a rapid rate. I'm going to queue up pan-nationalism. I've gotten to the point where I've got it in my sights now. Let's see. I am going to increase my government administration a little bit more. Where do I want to put these? Still got some unemployment here, but let's go with nice even numbers. There we go. That's definitely a way a sensible and rational government would build itself out, by even numbers. Cool. And with this next coal mine opening up, I think our answer to these various situations is going to be the coal market is doing pretty healthily. Outputs are increasing, so it's time to get our gas streetlights situation properly sorted out, we'll be increasing the number by 8 again. It's going to be a lot of coal, but it's going to be worth it. Standards of living are going to go up, and that's going to be really important. Let's check out the coal market. Coal is doing okay. Doing okay. We're at our maximum for coal until we get a hold of the rest of Norway directly, though. So it's just going to be a little bit... Oh, no, we're not. We can get more. We can get more of that. But... Okay, private sector is doing it. Excellent. That's really wonderful, actually. That's exactly what I wanted. We're kind of getting close to the end of the episode, but actually I'm inclined to let child labor finish. Okay, now we have a small stall chance, but I'm not super worried about it. Our advanced chance is still 27%, which is very, very good. So I'm hoping we'll be able to clutch it out. We've had very good luck so far. We have a stall chance now, by the way, because there's a movement against it. This is producing a lot of... How are you producing so many radicals? You're just the industrialists. What are you all salty about? Get out of here. Stop it. Get some help. Oh, Russia, you're importing my iron. I dislike this. Why must you do this? I need that iron for stuff and things. Ottoman Empire's embargoing Greece. Things are going wild down there. Oh, there's a revolution in Serbia. Proletarian revolt. Well, I hope the Serbians are able to work it out peacefully, because I'm certainly not going to intervene. I'm Sweden. One moment. Just let this go a little bit. We're gonna have a tiny bit of dead air here. Just for a second. 1 second. You know, sometimes you just need a second. Hopefully once we get done with all of this, with our current bout of construction, we can put a pin in all that, and that'll save the government a lot of money. But I do want to get these government administrations completed, because I need to get some extra bureaucracy so that I can get some the increased investment in education that I'm going to get from getting restricted child labor, but also so that I can get my healthcare investment up. I like to have those investments be relatively high, because typically when you take in more territory, like we're going to do once we've got pan-nationalism, you wind up with extra government capacity, so extra bureaucratic capacity. And that's what I want to have. I want to have extra bureaucratic capacity. Again, this is going to cost us significantly financially at the moment. But I'm hoping to kind of have that worked out once we get done with these other government buildings. I'm going to turn on another set of paper mills. In fact, I am going to. Just because all the stuff we're currently constructing costs a lot of paper. Uses up a lot of paper. Government administrations and universities both are extremely paper intensive. But it's got to be done. Come on, restricted child labor. You can do it. I believe in you. Believe in the you that believes in the you. Is that a thing people say? I'm not sure. Avoid unavoidable injuries. Oh, come on. With the government push for restricted child labor, adult men have been pressed to cover the gap they would leave behind. However, their bodies are too large and their fingers too wide for it, and industrial accidents have been increasing. Their screams filled the factory, their blood covered the machines as if they had a heart of their own. It's the 10th time in a week that a man cuts his fingers trying to operate some tiny machinery, previously manipulated only by the slender hands of a child. The protests have been rising. If not them, then it's us. No one should be doing this kind of work. This gets us Increase enactment time and reduce the chance. Children aren't coming back, so they better get used to it. This gets us increased time, but increased success chance. It gives us radical laborers and machinists in our capital, which I don't love, but it is what it is. It's gotta happen. Gotta keep your chances high. You can't just go on sacrificing enactment chance, things like that. Let me see, we're getting on to the end of 53. I'm kind of put a pin in it, but this is probably going to be my last episode of the session, so we'll let it go a little longer. I want to get restricted child labor passed. We're also going to have our second election, so that's going to be nice. Don't love that the Lantamana party is getting stronger. Why is... Oh, the armed forces have moved in with them. Don't love that. With that having been said, I'm not... It's probably going to be fine. Let's see. Oh, the intelligentsia and the rural folk formally turned into one party together, so that's nice. Hopefully we'll get some events. So we're the People's Party, so hopefully we'll get some events during the election that will let us throw some extra momentum at the People's Party. And that'll be nice. One of the other reasons I'm not worried about my finances right now is because once we get done with our current construction projects, we're going to have, once we've put an end to our current constructions, the construction capacity is going to be taken over by the private sector. That's going to be good. Over-enthusiastic partisans. Supporters of the old Lantana party have gone beyond simply campaigning for their own party, harassing and sometimes physically attacking partisans. I'm a simple man. I'm a simple party man, that's all. I know who I like and I know who I don't like. And I know I want my people to win and their people to lose. We can crack down on the old Lantamana party, or we can let the old Lantamana party partisans continue unmolested. Let's do that, because it'll make the landowners weaker. And we unlocked Power of the Purse. That improves our naval situation. It's just a doctrine change for our naval bases. It's not that big of a deal. Basically, Power of the Purse is this idea that, like, you let naval captains buy their own equipment and stuff. That makes your navies more efficient. Pretty straightforward. Getting these universities done will also increase the power of our intelligentsia. French Republic has announced its intention to expand it towards its natural borders, spanning from the Atlantic to the Rhine. Hold on. This is the Rhine, I'm pretty sure. Oh wow, things are. Oh no, this isn't war. This is radicalism. So I think this is the Rhine. Yes, that runs up through here. There's realism, and then we're about to have organized sports. And we're going to see how long it takes to get pan-nationalism. And then will be Scandinavia, and that will be just a dickens of a good time. Yeah, I'll be really pleased about that. Excellent. So, I'm just going to go ahead and immediately invest in a larger education institution, because that's just wonderful. Tickled pink about that. And there's organized sports. So, tech interface, 4 years, not bad. Not bad at all. Pretty pleased about that, actually. And there's water tube boiling. Wonderful. Could take a little bit of time off to research central banking. That would make it faster. We actually got really high tech spread. I guess because our... Oh, and we got mechanized workshops spreading to us. That's wonderful. You can never go wrong researching the technology you want to be researching. On the other hand, I'm not crazy about central banking for our current situation. Oh my goodness. So many events. Reason concerns, this is just that same event. No, I'm gonna weaken the church in Sweden. They tried to stop me from having public education. Kindly burn this letter. Magnus Brahe, a prominent member of the Lantmanna party, has been accused of gross corruption. He strenuously denied all allegations until damning letters surfaced signed by him. Yes, I'm willing to discuss the contents of these letters with the committee, if only I'm given time to study the content of the letters in my personal chambers first. Of course, on my honor, I will not alter or destroy any of the evidence. Honest. The Lantmanna party should stand by Magnus Brahe and deny everything. That'll cut their momentum, which is good for us. Magnus Brahe should be isolated to protect the rest of the Lantmanna party. Okay, so he's the leader of the armed forces. Okay, that's not super good. I think it's better to reduce their momentum. Excellent. That makes things a lot easier. So they'll still get quite a few votes, but my governing coalition will get plenty itself. And that's just great. I think we should be able to keep the situation sorted out. What song is this? Working Class. I like this song. I don't think I've heard this song before. This is lovely. The next big step for us technologically is going to be to get steel frame buildings. That's something I really, really want. That'll really help us improve our whole situation from a construction perspective. It's going to mean we're going to need a lot of steel mills, but and that's going to make things a little difficult for a little bit of a strain on our coal market. But I think, let me actually take a look at some of these states while we're planning on taking them over. Northern Norway does not have any capacity for coal. Eastern Norway, same. All of my coal is in Scandinavia? That can't be right. I remember having a ton of coal in a previous run as Sweden. That's kind of bananas. I guess I'm just going to need to continue to get a bunch of coal from the blood. Is all the coal in Scandinavia and Finland? I know some people don't consider Finland to be part of Scandinavia. By some people, I mean most people. I think it's mostly... I don't know how the Finnish feel about it, so I'm not going to make a comment on that. Alright. Yeah. We've continued to hold the government. With a reasonable... It's a contested government, but it's not terrible. We've continued to suppress the landowners, and I still think that's the right call. The old Lantmanna party is so strong. The landowners will oppose... They'll oppose going to Universal really hard. Or not the landowners, the industrialists. Are you super against Universal? Well, they're neutral on census, and they're super against Universal. Yeah. Who supports census? Just the intelligentsia. Let's see if we can't manipulate the armed forces a little bit. So this is a nice mechanic that you can have. This is Magnus Brahe, our current leader of the armed forces. But if we grab someone whose ideology we align with better and strengthen them, we can have armed forces that are more supportive of the things we want. So he's an authoritarian. We don't necessarily want that. He's a reformer. That's rights of women, citizenship, children's rights. That's okay. He's a reformer also. No one's great on this. With that having been said, I think our reformer will join the People's Party. So we're going to grab... See, this guy likes open terrain. This guy's defensive strategy and a romantic. Reduced offense, but also reduced morale loss. Political strength of the aristocrats. Not sure about that. Ambitious is rule of power projection. Reduced decree cost. Extra offense, reduced recovery rate. Yeah, we'll get Jansleger Bjoka. Yeah, we'll get you. And we're going to promote him. So he's a major general now. I don't know why he's got so few things, but all these guys are brigadier generals, and Brahe can't be in power that much longer. So because Legerbjoka is our highest ranking general, he'll become the leader of the armed forces pretty soon. Oh, I put him in the wrong... I put him in the wrong zone. That's what happened. What? No, I just promoted the wrong guy. That's very silly. Yeah, well, we're going to do it again. You should have a new guy now. You're also a reformer. You're bigoted. But you're a woodland combat expert. There's a lot of woods in Scandinavia. You'll do. You're a reformer, though. That's what's important. No, that could be a problem for me later. That's fine. Anyway, so we've completely politicized the armed forces now, but it'll be worth it in the long term to make sure that we get the things done that we need to get done. This has cost us some extra bureaucracy, but that's not necessarily a problem. Some of these silk trade routes are very unprofitable now, so I'm going to cut them, and hopefully we'll be getting enough silk from Sicily. Yes, we're going to increase the amount of silk we bring in from Sicily, yes, to 50. That's wonderful. Still bringing in quite a bit of coal from Prussia, but not as much as we were bringing in before. Coal's still doing pretty okay. I feel like I should increase... We have 2... No, we only have the 1. Oh, that's right. We got that technology that increases our mines. Alright, so, first things first. Let's get these lead mines working, make them more productive. The coal mines, those need to be much more productive. And then finally, how does that do with our tool situation? It's doing pretty okay. This does cost additional coal and additional tools, but we need a lot more iron. That'll also keep the coal mines productive, and that's important. We got a pretty good supply of tools. If we increase meat output by increasing tool usage, that should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Maximize it. Let's export some meat. Who will buy our meat? Britain will buy tons of meat, as will Russia. Cool. That should keep our stockyards profitable. Because right now we've got a really high excess of meat, but those trade routes should increase. Gotta keep bureaucracy up to support increasing trade routes as well. In fact, I think, oh, we can cut ports for coal completely. In fact, it's time to start a new meat export route because there are more people who will buy this stuff. Maybe there are not. Maybe there are not. Market trade is still increasing. Oh, it's mostly only profitable with Britain. Huh, that's interesting. Do we have a trade agreement with you, Great Britain? We do. Wonderful. So, Russia is unproductive. Scrap it. We'll sell all our meat to Great Britain. Great Britain will purchase all of our meat. It really is an absolute bananas number. Belgium, you want a defensive pact? Oh no, I don't want that, Belgium. I don't want to fight France. Get out of here. I'll fight France with Prussia. I'm not going to fight France with Belgium. That is what it is. We're nearly done with the stuff we need to get done with. Over here in this here construction thing. Q is the word for what this is. I'm going to increase tooling output a little bit more. Just because we just did the condensing pump engine trade agreement with Russia, heck yes. The condensing pump engine with all of our mines, and that's made those considerably more profitable. Do a promotion. Well, the armed forces want Liga Broca to be promoted. Let's do it. That's good for us. Our money situation is still rough on account of I keep increasing the number of government administrations, but I need to do that in order to increase investment in the institutions, and I want to increase investment in the institutions because that's just something I think is really important for us in the long term. But that having been said, we've pretty much finished out our extra year at this point, so it's time to put a pin in it. But I've had fun. I hope you've had fun. I'll see you all on the other side.